Hello, Renee. My question grows out of my response to your first delightful video, wherein you say repeatedly toward the end that the dream touches us into being. Touch here appears to be on something of a spiritual threshold, as in, the Word became flesh. Can you say more about how this touch of the dream, its touching us into being, expands our sense of soul? I sense that this is likened to, or is a recovery of, the child's experience of touch, which is an inherent world-soul response. Yes, isn't it? Okay, look at what the child is actually doing when it's crawling around the room or walking around from chair to chair, touching each chair, touching each object that it comes into contact with. It's not thinking about what is this, it's merely encountering the object directly. And even as a way of discovering it. So the child is in complete and absolute not knowing and a willingness to be a discoverer. So you're exactly right with your question. This is exactly what the dream time is trying to get us to remember. To remember what it's like to be a discoverer. So the dream time itself is a touching realm, and I answer this sort of how it's trying to touch us into being in the two videos about the dream time that I previous videos. So you might want to watch them. But the whole realm of the dream time is trying to open us up to our not knowing, so that it can compel us, invite us to becoming discoverers. So in order to do that, it needs to penetrate us. It needs to penetrate our abstractions and our ideas and the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves. And it does this in various ways that sort of that are trying to move us, open us up to becoming discoverers, the way a child has a direct encounter through touch, through the realm of feeling, to and a relational encounter with what he or she is touching. And in the dream time, likewise, you notice it. You notice it especially when an object, an image in a dream comes along that is so unusual that there's no no corresponding thing like it in the waking world, and we are forced by its unusual quality, by its unusualness, to describe it. We can't even name it. Amalgam animals have that kind of quality, but all kinds of images where it's kind of like this and it's kind of like that and it's sort of like that, and it reminds me of that thing I saw over there. By its very nature, we are forced into discovery of the image. And notice that how we can actually describe the thing at all, the image that we're encountering, is through feeling, through describing it directly. It's a direct experience. So this is what the dream time is actually trying to invite us to engage in, a kind of direct experience of that which we encounter. We have lost the art of encounter, largely because we are out of touch, and we don't allow ourselves to be touched. And the dream time comes along and moves us in such a way that we are disturbed or opened, penetrated, and the quality of that is a touched into being quality. And so we want to notice that, and notice that the touch in that way is, in a sense, a kind of call into being who we are, not who we've been. but who we are becoming through that realm of touch, directly, as direct experience and a willingness to be in the not known. So instead of accumulating the unfamiliar into the familiar, which we do habitually, the dream time is trying to open us up and create enough willingness, enough space where we can allow ourselves to encounter ourselves and the world around us directly. And that's what it's actually trying to do all the time. Okay? So there's my answer.